Gold participants from around the world. I'm Fiona Lang-Sharp, IBCLC Public Relations Manager and MC for Gold Learning. I am sitting down today with Dr. Suzanne Zeedyk. Welcome, Suzanne. It's great to have you here.
It's fabulous to be with you.
Well, we're very excited that you're going to be presenting on the connected baby, how understanding infant brain development changes our view of humanity. So that is quite a mouthful. And I mean, it's to me, it's just like, wow, really? So exciting. So
Big.
I can't wait to hear more during your presentation, Suzanne. But first of all, why don't you go ahead and introduce yourself to our listening audience today and tell them a bit about yourself and, of course, tell them how you first became interested in infant mental health.
Well, I am by training a research scientist with a specialty in parent-infant communication. And I held that post for about 20 years as an academic and creating basic research. And over that time, I became more and more aware that the public didn't have access to the things that I knew science was discovering. And so I really wanted to help more people to understand how important we now know the early years are. And different people call that different things. Some people call it early years, some people call it first 1,000 days, other people call it infant mental health. And depending on the language that you use, of course, you get a different angle on it. But I'm delighted now to be part of a big group of people across the world who are really trying to push that message to people who don't yet know about it.
Yeah, that is exciting. And I've been talking about this upcoming, you're part of a package that we're working on. And I've been talking a lot about infant mental health. I've always been very fascinated myself about it and how we treat babies from the very onset of in the womb and through that birth process and in the immediate postpartum. And people are always surprised to hear that there's even a subject or, there's research in infant mental health, because we focus a lot in our wider reach about mental health. But when we really kind of boil it down, infant mental health, like you said, I mean, in your title, it says it all. It can change our view of humanity. I would love to know, Suzanne, tell me what are the most significant changes really that you have seen or felt as you have grown in this field too?
It's actually it's what you just said. Even the concept of infant mental health is still feels new, and there are lots of people who don't even understand what that phrase means. What do you mean infant mental health? And people's confusion about that phrase tells us how much we really haven't understood about infants' emotional needs and how those set up a platform for the whole of the rest of life. So, one of the most significant changes I have seen in the last 10 years, and really the last 20 years at the outside, is just the understanding that there is such a thing as infant mental health, and actually how crucial that is for the whole of the rest of life, getting that basic platform in place.
Yeah, it almost seems like a foundation for us to be thinking and talking about this, that the infant mental health is really what sets the tone for, like you said, generations to come, because we know that what happens to our children, impacts how they behave and how they parent and or live or however it is. So you're talking about the impact of generations. I mean, it's just mind-boggling, really, that there isn't more going on about this, but I'm certainly glad that you're here with our other infant mental health speakers and talking so passionately about what you do because it really does. I mean, it blows the lid on all of it, really, for all of us who are not researchers like yourself and, and immersed in the community and doing this. But we're certainly grateful that you are, Suzanne. So thank you for that.
I am delighted, really delighted.
So lastly, before I let you go today, for our delegates who are going to be joining us for this infant mental health package, perhaps you could just share tell us what you're most excited about sharing with them.
Well, do you know, it's right there in my title. More and more people are hearing about infant brain development. But for me, as exciting as brain development information is, it doesn't make sense unless we understand that babies arrive in the world already connected to other people, already in relationships, already an active participant in communication and in relationship. And we kind of used to think that babies were passive and that
Mm.
they gained that skill later. What we now know is that they arrive already connected. And I think that makes brain development information much richer when we really get that. And I could talk for weeks about what we now know about how babies arrive connected and why it's important.
Well, I can hear that in your voice, and it was great to just have this short time to chat with you. And of course, we invite everyone that's listening right now to come and participate with Suzanne and all of our other infant mental health speakers at Gold Learning here. We're certainly looking forward to hearing all of you and all of your passion as well in this area. Well, thank you so much, Suzanne, for sitting down with me here today. It's been great chatting with you.
I look forward to what's to come.
That's great. Thanks again, and thanks to our listening audience. Again, we've been chatting with Dr. Suzanne Zeedyk and the connected baby, how understanding infant brain development changes our view of humanity. That's all for now. Thanks, everyone. Bye bye for now.